Today, we're going to create a piece of art together, something that can brighten up any corner of your room. The best part? You don't need expensive art supplies to make something beautiful. I'm using a round wooden board that had been sitting in our storage room for years, completely forgotten, but today it's getting a second chance. So grab your paints, get comfortable, and let's create something beautiful together. I start by painting the entire board yellow. After the first coat dries, I add a second one to make the color look smooth, rich, and even. Now it's time for the sketch. I begin with a circle for the cat's face, then add a few simple guidelines to help place the eyes, nose, and mouth. Next, I sketch the body. It doesn't need to be detailed, just enough to guide me while painting. For the fur, I mix gray with a little dark blue. It creates a soft color with a bit more depth, and I use it to paint the whole body. And then, this happens. A drop of paint lands right on the background. I try to wipe it away with a tissue. Nope, that only makes it worse. That's okay, I decide not to let it stop me. I'll come back to it later. And now, I use that color to paint the whole body. First, I paint around the eyes, leaving the eyes themselves yellow. I also avoid making the outline perfectly smooth. Those tiny uneven edges make the fur feel much more natural. Then I let everything dry. Now I switch to black paint. I define the eyes, shape the small triangle nose, and the mouth, cheeks, and ears. With every detail, the cat starts to come to life. After that, I let it dry once more before adding the final details. Now it's time to build the fur texture. With yellow paint, I add soft and thin strokes above the eyes, across the cheeks, around the ears, and over the body. I don't press hard with the brush. Light strokes work much better. Next, I brighten the eyes with a stronger yellow to make them stand out. This step is completely optional, but it adds a lot more dimension to the painting. Then I move on to the body. I use black to define the paws and darker areas. And finish with a few more soft yellow highlights. If I ever add too much yellow, a few thin black strokes bring everything back together. One thing I always keep in mind is blends. The yellow details should support the black lines, not overpower them.
2,000 years later.
Unfortunately, my phone battery died before I could record the final steps. I added a black pupil to each eye, 2 tiny white highlights, and 3 thin white whiskers. Those little details made such a big difference. Remember the paint spill from earlier? I simply covered it with yellow paint, and now you'd never know it happened. And here's the finished painting. A forgotten wooden board has become a cheerful little piece of art that's ready to brighten any room. I hope you enjoyed painting with me today. If you did, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. I'm Mashi, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.